It's a disease which impacts millions of people, most of them women of color and women of childbearing age, but men and children can also acquire it. Lupus is mostly developed in persons between the ages of 15 and 44, and its symptoms can range from mild with complications in some cases leading to death. In this week's edition of Things You Should Know, Cleopatra Murphy tells us more about lupus, also known as the Great Imitator, because its symptoms often mimic the symptoms of other illnesses, from rheumatoid arthritis to Lyme disease.
5 million people across the globe are afflicted with lupus, and according to the Lupus Foundation of America, 16,000 new cases are reported annually. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that occurs when the body's immune system attacks its own tissues and organs. The ensuing inflammation caused by lupus can affect the brain, joints, skin, kidneys, blood cells, heart, and lungs. Vice President of Lupus 242, Shauna Johnson, says the disease has a severe impact on people living with it.
It can affect your major organs. A huge part of living with lupus is dealing with pain, dealing with fatigue, and many persons who live with lupus struggle and feel isolated. And so a part of the mission of the group is to let persons know that they are not alone and to give a voice to those who are battling this illness.
Symptoms of lupus vary, and Johnson says they are extremely difficult to diagnose. They range from extreme fatigue, headache, painful or swollen joints, fever, anemia, swelling in the feet, legs, hands, and around the eyes, hair loss, and other symptoms including a butterfly-shaped rash across the cheeks and nose. Johnson says there are no real statistics on lupus locally.
So it can mimic a lot of illnesses, but there are tests that can be done to determine if in fact you have lupus once that's been narrowed down. And so that's why the push is there to gain the awareness so that persons can start thinking, well, I may have lupus. That may be something that maybe nobody's considering, as I'm battling a health crisis that I can't get to the bottom of.
Although she does not have lupus, Johnson lost both her mother and sister to the disease. Her mother, Gwendolyn King, battled it for more than 40 years, and her sister, Chanel Brennan, the former president of Lupus 242, lived with it for more than 20 years. Johnson says lupus is hard on both those fighting it and the loved ones of those living with it.
Many of our family members cannot hold down full-time jobs just because of the impact of the illness, and so I know what it is to be on the supporting side of it, and there was no real voice attached to the cause. I would say that lupus has affected my life in a way that's been immense. It's shown me, what people can overcome. It also shows me how strong persons who have to battle lupus have to be mentally. When they're physical, it's taking a toll, but mentally what it requires, the faith that's required to live with an illness like this.
May is Lupus Awareness Month, and each Friday in May, Lupus 242 is encouraging the public to wear purple in support of those living with the disease as the search for a cure continues. Johnson says she is happy that Lupus 242 continues to be an avenue for support and education about lupus. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.